Welcome to How We Met. I'm Sheryl Strich, and every month I get to interview couples from Laguna Woods who tell their story about how they met. Today, I'm happy to welcome Evette and Dennis Glauber. Evette is extremely involved in the community concerts, and she's really helpful in getting the musicians who come in to perform, because she has contacts from the Seattle Chamber Music. I can't tell you how much I enjoy those community concerts. And Dennis is also involved in the community concerts because not only does he write the programs for the community concerts, spoiler alert, he is a recently published author in My Anecdotage. This is his recently published book. I want to welcome you, Evette and Dennis Glauber. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Sheryl.
Thank you for inviting us.
I have 3 questions that I always ask my guests.
Yes, ma'am.
And the first question is, where are you from?
South Africa.
And Evette?
South Africa.
Okay. And how long have you been a couple?
We got married in 1986, so that's, you work out the
I
number.
can't do that that quickly.
37 years.
Thank you. And how long have you been in Laguna Woods?
We moved here on a permanent basis in 2013, but prior to that, for the previous 7 years, we used to come as snowbirds from our home in Seattle.
All right. Thank you.
And we just come and get de-thawed.
Get thawed. A lot of people do that. They come from the cold and come here to warm up.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you tell me, how did you meet?
It's a long story.
We have 13 minutes.
Good. I have to talk about my good friend Sam, because he's pivotal to the story of how we met. Sam and I grew up together from the age of about 10. So we went through elementary school, high school, medical school. Great friends. He was very, very influential. He was, besides being a medical student and then a doctor, he was a very fine musician of almost professional quality. And I attribute my strong interest in music to being influenced by Sam. I was married, my wife and I, Ruth and I, were married in 1950, so by the time Sam got married, that was 6 years later. So in 1956, when he got married, I proposed a toast at the wedding. We said, and then we bade them farewell from South Africa when they went to make a life they thought in America, and I kept in close touch with Sam for many years. He had specialized in radiology, and I had specialized in anesthesiology. I then lapsed a little and had forgotten to say, I never forgot his birthday, but I'd forgotten his anniversary and then finally one day I remembered and said, "Oh, happy anniversary," at the time. And he said my timing was impeccable because my message arrived the same day as the final divorce papers. So that, I then realized that Sam was now a single person again. And he eventually came back to South Africa, having been all over the place, and we re-established our friendship. I was with him one day at his house, where he was helping me. I had been on several radio programs which had been taped, and they weren't taped, they were on an antique thing called a wire recorder, and Sam was going to help putting these things from a wire recorder onto a tape recorder. But so I went to his house to do so, but he said he couldn't give me too much time. He's meeting somebody, or somebody's coming to meet him, and I thought, somebody must be important. So we did our thing, and then the somebody arrived, a very charming, dynamic young lady. I still remember she made a marked impression on me. I still remember the outfit that she was wearing at the time, and Sam couldn't get rid of me fast enough, so I realized then that Sam and Evette became an item. And that would have been about 20 years ago. It would have been in 1966, because that same year we traveled in to Europe and America for the first time for a few months. And when we came back at the airport, my younger daughter, who was then about 11, couldn't wait to be the first to tell me, Uncle Sam's getting married, Uncle Sam's getting married. That counted more than welcoming us back, that Uncle Sam's getting married. So Evette and Sam married, and Evette and Ruth became great friends. And the four of us did all sorts of things together, particularly musical and a bit of local traveling, but particularly concert going and all that kind of thing. And then we emigrated in 1980 to Seattle, and in 83, still hoping to emigrate, Sam died suddenly, still in South Africa. And in 84, Ruth died not suddenly, but of cancer in 1984. And when she received the diagnosis, she said she had to make just a couple of phone calls to tell her sister, who lived in England, and her friend Evette, living in South Africa. And they had a long conversation, of which I obviously wasn't privy to the conversation, but when she finished, she said, Evette, that's a wonderful friend. When I die, you two should get married.
Oh my goodness.
Now, that's not why we got married, but that had her blessing. She didn't say, if I die. She said, when I die, you two should get married. And she died in 84, and in 86, we took the bold step. We got married.
Oh, how sweet. Oh my goodness.
Sorry to make this just a long, drawn-out story.
No, I was wondering where you're going with that.
No, but fortunately, the children, we all knew everybody and why and what and how, and what they intended doing, etc., etc. So I think that was a great plus, that all the kids.
Yeah.
There's no stepmother or stepchild or step is not in my vocabulary.
Oh, that's so. Okay, so I didn't want to interrupt you, but what was she wearing when you met her?
Oh, it was a white jacket, and with the interwoven with a sort of naval thing, little anchors down the seams of it. And
Evette, do you remember what he was wearing?
No, I probably changed 3 times before I decided. But
Sheryl, could I say that you're part of the genesis of that book?
Oh.
Because many of the stories, not all of them, but many of the stories, I submitted over the many years to Village Stories, which comes out every year.
Right.
And it is at your big birthday party that Miranda McPhee came up to me and said, you've got to put your stories into a book of your own. And said, okay, Miranda, you've talked me into it. And so thanks to...
I don't see a thank you, Sheryl, in this.
Thanks to being at your party.
There's no thank you acknowledgement to me in the book. But there's still time in the next publishing, the next time it comes out. Well, I'm happy that I could be there, and
yeah.
You have such a wonderful story. I really thank you for coming on. This was great, and I had no idea where you were going with that. Do you have anything to add?
No, I just think that we're very blessed. It's, that we have this lifestyle and have one another and share so much. Music was very much part of my life. We had my family, everybody played something.
Right.
I started playing the piano when I was 5, and I could read the music, and I could play, with it. But I knew that it wouldn't be the piano would not be my first choice.
Right.
And so I always liked the lower register of everything.
Right.
I preferred tenors to baritones. So I went with mezzo sopranos and sopranos, etc. But so in my family we all played musical instruments, and so when I met Sam, who was such a fine violinist,
Right.
We had a great affinity there, shared it, and so I continued. And with Sam, we formed a trio, and we had a quartet, and we'd be invited to private parties as the sort of entertainment.
What a different world. Anyway, I just got the 2-minute warning, so I want to thank you so much for coming on. I knew sort of your story, but I didn't know the whole story, so this is great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting us.
And thank you for being so attentive.